inspiring our future. So we are here tonight to raise funds for the Future Innovators Scholarship Fund. And this fund provides scholarships to talented youth, black students in the DC area. And these stars are pursuing their degrees in engineering, science, technology, math fields, and we are very, very excited that they're going to be applying and getting accepted to multiple institutions, prestigious institutions across the country. So we're very excited about that. We definitely hope that you will enjoy yourselves tonight. Been on some of the items in the silent auction that are all around the room. Aren't they gorgeous, right? Yeah. Absolutely. And we want to make sure that you enjoy the live entertainment and the networking opportunities that we have here tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, just once again, I want to thank everyone for their attendance and definitely enjoy the show, all right? Taylor?
Okay, so this is not on my script, but before I came on stage, Andre's like, yeah, you know, Taylor, I've been a part of NSBE since I was in 9th grade, right? 9th grade, so you're a poster child for NSBE DC chapter, right? A product right here in Maryland. So again, I want to thank Andre, and I'd like to provide additional details regarding the silent auction, which he alluded to tonight. You'll see the tables back there. Throughout the evening, you feel inspired, you want to jump up and get something special for that loved one or soon-to-be loved one, or just for yourself. Make sure you go over there because it's definitely going to make a difference in the lives of some young people in our area. The silent auction will go on until 11 o'clock tonight, so you might want to peek and see if someone wants to outbid you and have a little personal war right here for kids. That's not a problem. That's what I was told anyway. All right, so the announcement of the winners for the silent auction will be done at 11, as I said before. Please know that you must be present to win. So that's a big thing. So maybe if you do want to win, maybe you tell the person before you, go ahead, I'll get it for you. Don't worry about it. All right. There are some wonderful items available and some things that I saw there that I would have to work extra hard for. And think about that, you guys. You can do a trip tonight and then write it off tomorrow. Just go back there, okay? So the NBA All-Star Game, oh my gosh, that's going to be so good. Jewelry, autographed sports paraphernalia. I know if you're like me with sports, that's a great thing. I got a chance to see a little bit, but not as much as I wanted to. Also, there's a scholarship booklet. There's an envelope on your table. There's a white envelope in the center by a wonderful centerpiece, and that was there for each and every one of you. You know why? Because we're hoping that you'll be inspired by a performance, by somebody up here on the stage to put something in there. It doesn't matter how much, because every penny adds, and if each of us put something in there, I think that we're going to have some really, really happy kids at the end of the year. So with your support, we want to thank you again for attending tonight's gala, and you will help us ensure the future of young people. At this time, NSBE DC has an outstanding leadership, and they have guided the organization and pushed it forward to achieve the mission. The mission, you say? It is to increase the number of culturally responsible black engineers who
see professionally and positively impact the community.
Okay, so I want you guys to tell me, you scared me. I had an out-of-body experience. I was like, are they, okay. You did not prepare me for that? I felt really different just now. Okay, so the mission again?
Responsible black engineers feel academically, succeed professionally, and positively impact the community.
Okay, y'all see, I got you, didn't I? You're like, we said it already. Okay. All right, so thank you so very much for being a part of the program. This is what I'm talking about. We're getting comfortable, we're getting relaxed. The checkbooks are getting close to the table, closer to the envelope, so we like that. We would like to recognize those leaders, by the way, who are the founding members and past presidents of the chapter. Please hold your applause to the very end of the section anyway. First, we would like to recognize the name of the 20 founders who were instrumental in the creation and development of NSBE DC chapter. Please stand when I say your name. Again, hold your applause. Harold Goodrich, Hugh Watkins, Warren Almond, Trevor Henry, Deborah Jackson, Stephen Ruffin, Eric Holmes, Robert Copeland, Iris Ashley, Valencia Floyd, Mark James, Bruce Taylor, Desiree Moss, Deidre Spalding, Carl Young, Beverly Fields, Elaine Perry, Melanie Calvert, Jonathan Gloucester, and Tracy Edgecombe. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you for your commitment, your vision, your hard work. Now, if you are a past president of NSBE DC chapter, please stand to be recognized. Wow, oh my goodness. Wow. And what I love is seeing that my sister's there, yes! So again, thank you so very much. Wow. Thank you, founders and presidents, for your commitment and dedication. Your leadership has been invaluable to the organization. The chapter, by the way, has created a presentation visually displaying the 25 years of service to the community. Please enjoy this during the dinner. Before that, we'd like to call Brian Crutcher, NSBE DC Chapter Events Chairman, responsible for the 25th anniversary gala that we're taking part in. He'll provide our invocation.
You know, this is one of the most important times of the night, right? Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you at this time, thanking you once again for allowing us to assemble here at this place and to celebrate 25 years of enriching the hearts and minds of African American men, women, and children here in this DC area. We thank you for the past presidents. We thank you for the founders who have paved the way for us to celebrate these 25 years. And we pray that we will use what they have already laid and use it as a stepping stone to move forward for the next 25 years. At this particular time, we'd like to thank you for the food that has been prepared. We thank you for those who have prepared it. And we pray that we will not take this moment for granted, but use this as motivation to move forward with positively impacting the community. Continue to be with us and keep us throughout the remainder of this evening. In your son's name we do pray. Amen. Amen. Enjoy your meal.
FBI DNA unit in 1997. It was at the FBI where his love for science, technology, engineering, mathematics intersecting with his social and professional service. Now, as Chief Medical Examiner for the City of DC, Dr. Mitchell oversees nearly 5,000 illegal death investigations per year as Chief Medical Examiner. Now, his major accomplishments include his work on elder abuse, mass fatality management, child abuse, and deaths while in law enforcement custody. Now, Dr. Mitchell is a graduate of Howard University and UMDNJ, New Jersey Medical School, and performed his pathology residency at George Washington University, where he served as chief resident. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Roger A. Mitchell.
Good evening. It is such a pleasure to be here at the 25th anniversary of the National Society of Black Engineers. Now, I want to thank Yinka and the executive committee for your leadership, for your hard work, for your dedication. Ms. Thomas, it's a pleasure to share the stage with you. And it's an honor. I'm truly humbled to be on this stage at this fine occasion. You know, I promise I won't be too long because I know we got to get this party started. So I would like to introduce my wife of nearly 13 years, Angelique Rochelle Mitchell. She's my best friend, my confidant, my vine who bears fruit. Thank you, and I love you. We have three wonderful children. We have a son, Nathaniel, who is 12 years old. We have a daughter, Nina, who's 10, and a son, Matthew, who's 8. And it's a great weekend this weekend because Nina is getting baptized tomorrow. She's taking God as Jesus as her personal Savior. And so it's an exciting weekend this weekend for the Mitchell household. My mother's in town at my sister's house, so we're excited about that. 25 years. 25 years. Wow. That's a long time. It's almost as long as I've known my wife. I met my wife in 1992, so we've known each other for quite some time. But I remember it like it was yesterday. I was 15 years old. Belle Biv DeVoe had topped the charts with Poison. You know that girl, she's Poison. MC Hammer came out with You Can't Touch This. There were hip-hop albums that we loved, great albums from A Tribe Called Quest and Brand Nubian. We grew up on these albums. You know, it was 25 years when we were actually on the eve of the infamous beating of Rodney King that happened in 1991. It made visual what was already racial tensions, not only in Los Angeles, but in urban centers throughout the country. Now, 25 years ago, we were just emerging out of the crack cocaine epidemic. And one of the most important technological advances, arguably, occurred in 1990, just a year after the founding of this organization, and that was the World Wide Web, where Berners-Lee specifies the hypertext markup language, the HTML. See, a time where there was much occurring, engineering professionals in Washington, D.C., founders, made the decision to follow in the footsteps of a small group of dedicated students from Purdue University to launch this chapter of the Society for Black Engineers. Outstanding. 5 National Chapter of the Year titles. Many more regional and national programmatic awards. NSBE DC, you are the best of the best. Okay. Now, I just found out that my chief of staff, Beverly Fields, who's an attorney and also an engineer, and is one of your founders. And she's my chief of staff at the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. The world is extremely small. There has never been a time in history where black professionals were not needed to set ourselves apart and hold ourselves up as servants for the larger community and country. I think of Charles Drew, a friend of my grandfather's, who was a scientist and physician who pioneered blood plasma exchange between humans. He challenged the notion that blood from white and black humans could not be used for the transfusion in patients from any race. He placed his career at risk because of a social stance he took based upon the evidence of science. You know he was fired for that stance. And after he left that job that he had with the U.S. Army, he went on to take a position at Howard University where he met my grandfather. So I say to you that the law enforcement force being disparately administered in communities of color and poor communities finds its origin as part of an American legacy, disparate treatment of these communities. This most visible by the limited access to education, economics, housing, and healthcare. And as scientists, technicians, engineers, and mathematicians, we must call for a change in how the American communities are being policed. and define a systemic replacement with an evidence-based public health approach solution dedicated to the outright prevention of violence versus merely the response to it. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, we are scientists.
We are scientists.
Now turn to the other neighbor and say, neighbor, I know.
I know.
So as the chair of the brand new Committee on Deaths in Custody for the National Association of Medical Examiners, we will change and improve how these deaths are investigated, defined, diagnosed, examined, certified, and tracked. We are scientists. In my profession, it is not a novelty for science to impact social and criminal justice. So now, as the interim director of the Department of Forensic Sciences, on top of my role as the Chief Medical Examiner for the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, in addition to the oversight of crime scene investigations, firearms and fingerprint analysis, and the public health laboratory response, we now are tasked with managing the development of new methods of DNA mixtures and their analysis. We are scientists. From drones to pipelines, from streets to bridges, from Homeland Security to the Department of Health and Human Services, engineers pave the way. There is nothing that we engage in that we as engineers, and I say we because my start was in engineering. There is nothing that we do not touch. This is a peculiar time in our American history, not too different from times past, where there is still a need to change the narrative. The current narrative that suggests that we are incapable, when the truth is that although disparate in comparison, we still enjoy a majority culture that embraces the concept of performance and excellence. That we work hard, that we are dedicated to families and community, that we are fiscally responsible, that we are faithful and upright, that we are the lender, not the borrower, that we are the head, not the tail, that we are above, not below. The truth is that we must tell our own story, both to ourselves and to the world. I had my first encounter with the engineering at 12 years old when I went to an engineering summer camp at the New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Oh, Stevenson.
Who would have known at 10 years old, 2 years prior to that, I would be left home for 3 days by my crack cocaine addicted father. And at that point in my life, would not even have thought that I would have been capable of being an engineer or a scientist or a physician, although I had examples. And so the son of a single mother and a crack cocaine addicted father, I took the bus on weekdays during that summer into Newark so that I can learn principles that NSBE holds dear. Principles of leadership, principles of excellence, principles of access, that we are actually able and capable of doing anything that we set our minds to. That's what your programs do for young men and women in this community and across the country. So I learned to dream. You see, I knew even then that I wanted to be a physician. to follow my grandfather's footsteps. He was one of the first black physicians in New Jersey in the 1930s. He served, and I wanted to serve too. So engineering was my first access to the applied sciences. By the end of that summer, I knew I could be a doctor because of that exposure. Because of that exposure, I would go on and participate in AP science classes in high school. Selected again to serve as a student engineer at the Sarnoff Research Center in Princeton, New Jersey, where I did engineering projects there. I would be pre-med at Howard University, and then go on to be the first black man in FBI DNA laboratories in 1997. Then the youngest chief medical examiner in the country just 3 years ago. And now, I've reached the top. I'm the keynote speaker at NSBE DC. The work that you do with young people cannot be overstated. Thank you for your service. Thank you for taking the time to expose our young people to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Not only from one who has benefited from such exposure, but now from one who is in a place to hire individuals who share that same opportunity. As science professionals, we must be a part of this paradigm shift. We are responsible for ensuring that our images of excellence reach our community. We are responsible for reaching up and reaching down. We are responsible for engaging in activities of righteousness that shows their benefit to all those around us. With no excuses, we must be the torch and the lightning bolts. We must show an everlasting, burning desire to achieve success in a competitive society and positively affect the quality of life for all people. We must represent the striking impact that will be felt by the society and industry due to our contributions and accomplishments. And most of all, we must remember that the price of freedom is service. Thank you very much.
I'm the president of National Society of Black Engineers, DC Professionals, and it is my honor to provide just a small token of appreciation to Dr. Roger Mitchell for his speech, inspiring, motivating speech to all of us, and really just want to thank you for serving as our keynote speaker during our 25th anniversary.
Okay, so this is not on my script, but honestly, that one I've heard in a long time. It was so direct. I felt like, literally, when you finished, I'm like, he's done. And I really did. You are an inspiration to a lot of people. I definitely want to make sure before we leave here today, I'm able to connect with you and see what we can do with the radio station and letting people and young kids see someone that looks like them doing what they're doing and how cool it is to like and enjoy STEM and how it does relate what's happening in the textbooks, what you can really do in real life. So Dr. Mitchell, you're phenomenal. Now, moving on to some more excitement are the awards presentation. You ready for that? Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna do this again. We're now ready for the award presentation. And afterward, we go dance, right? Y'all not going to bed, are you? Okay, all right, so we're going to continue the program. Now we're moving on to the awards presentation celebrating 25 years. The organization is going to present 5 awards. 2 Founders Awards, 1 Champion Awards, and 2 Corporate Awards. I would like to welcome 2 people to the stage, Seth Rollander and Talani Onibanjo. 2014, 2015, and 2015-2016 NSBE DC Secretary, and Talani Onibanjo, President Emeritus, to announce the awardees.
The first award recognizes NSBE DC members who have dedicated over 10 years of committed service to the NSBE DC chapter to fulfill the mission. May I have the founders please come to the front, please? Ms. Pamela Johnson has been a member of the NSBE organization since the early 1990s. She has numerous STEM accomplishments. To name a few, she served as the Vice President of the Washington Mathematics, Science, Technology Public Charter High School Board in Washington, D.C. She is the original founder and past chairperson of the Carlin Macon Granville Engineering Scholarship, which is annually awarded to students attending her undergraduate alma mater. She has served on the NSBE DC Executive Board in the past and played instrumental roles in some of NSBE DC's most successful events. Congratulations, Pamela Johnson. Let's give her a hand.
I am not the best extemporaneous speaker, and I'm truly humbled by this award tonight. So I want to truly thank Arthur Edge for calling me and asking me if I would please submit my information to be nominated. And I can't thank you enough for thinking enough of me to feel like I could be honored in this way. So I'm greatly humbled by this honor, and to stand before you and to thank you, the Washington, D.C. chapter of NSBE, the D.C. professional chapter of NSBE. 25 years is a long time, and I have to thank my sister friend Zahara Wadu Pinkett. I know her as Zahara Wadu, but we went to North Carolina A&T State University together, undergrad, and Z is the one who pulled me in to the alumni extension. I pulled her into the alumni chapter for A&T. She pulled me into NSBE. And we both were active at the undergraduate level. But there's so much this chapter does and gives back to so many people. And I'm so glad that I've had the honor of working with so many presidents in this chapter to give back to people who are so committed to STEM. And I appreciate all you do. I will continue to support as much as I can. And I love you and I thank you for this honor.
Our next recipient is receiving the Founders Award. Ms. Yvette Selby has been a member of the NSBE DC Professionals Chapter for over 17 years. Yvette has held numerous NSBE roles on the National Professionals Board, Region 2 Professionals Board, and leadership positions that contribute and improve NSBE programming for PCI, collegiate, and professional members. Her passion is developing and implementing programs that engage college students, encourage them to learn about opportunities in engineering and science. Currently in her role as NSBE Kids Zone Coordinator, Yvette designs and teaches engineering and science-based activities to K-5 graders at NSBE annual conventions. Congratulations, Yvette.
Hello, everyone. I've been told to do the speech first. So I'm so honored to receive this award. You know, it's been a great 17 plus years. I know so many faces out here. I've had the privilege of working with so many of you all. And you know, it's just been a great honor. A lot of times people don't know what I have done for the chapter. Because I'm not a past president, I'm not a founder. However, I do love to do programs. I love to do program implementation, and so many of you have seen me at banquets, running events like the ones we did this morning, which were great. And again, it is just such an honor. And I joined NSBE when I first moved to DC, and I've been part of the DC chapter ever since. And just so you know, my table has a bet. That I would get up here and say something silly. So what I'm going to do is, because I am part of the DC chapter, because I've been part of Region 2 for 17 plus years, I'm going to say, can I get it too hype? Individual award is the Champion Award. This award will be presented to an individual in the DC community who embodies the mission of the organization. This year, that award is being presented to Dr. Lorraine Fleming, Interim Dean for the School of Engineering at Howard University. Dr. Fleming has led a number of research and intervention initiatives to track and retain African American students in STEM disciplines and to improve the quality of engineering education for undergraduates. She is founding director of the Howard University Science, Engineering, and Mathematics program, and is the principal investigator and director of the National Science Foundation funded Global Education, Awareness, and Research Undergraduate Program, or GEAR Up. Congratulations, Dr. Fleming. Dr. Lorraine Fleming is out of the country, but accepting the award on behalf of Dr. Lou Black-Smith. Let's give her a hand.
Good evening. On behalf of Dean Fleming, I definitely want to thank NSBE DC for this honor. Dr. Fleming has dedicated her career to attracting, preparing, and certainly graduating Black students in the engineering disciplines, as well as other STEM disciplines. And I'm sure if she were here tonight, she'd challenge each of us to do what we can to make a difference in the education, in the career pursuits, and certainly in the life of the children in our community. So I will leave you with that challenge and sincere thanks. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everybody. Our final award this evening is the Corporate Award for Large Business. This award goes to a highly distinguished organizational corporation for their contributions to society for the fulfillment of the NSBE mission and for improving African American access to technology, education, employment. This year's recipient is Sirius. Sirius XM broadcasts more than 135 channels of commercial-free music, premier sports, live news, talk, comedy, entertainment, traffic, and weather to more than 21 million subscribers. Sirius XM is one of the world's largest pure-play audio entertainment companies and is among the largest subscription media companies in the United States. Sirius XM believes in attracting, developing, and retaining the nation's best talent, broadest range of people, backgrounds, and perspectives. Sirius XM was recently recognized as the 2013 Diversity and Inclusion Awards in the Communications category. Accepting this award for Sirius XM is Mr. Walt Sanderson. Let's give Sirius XM our hand.
It's interesting. A couple of years ago, we were preparing a plan listing the organizations we wanted to reach out to and connect with. And NSBE was on that list. But before I even had an opportunity to call anyone at NSBE, I got a call from someone at NSBE. So obviously this was a relationship that had to happen. It hasn't been as long as these 25 years. I think you all have been a chapter since I was about 15. My work told me not to tell a joke. The only other plug I would like to throw in is that we're hosting a reception for the DC chapter on the 16th of July at our facility, and I'd love to see you all there. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of this presentation.
All right, this is our final award for the night, and then we can jump right into having fun on the dance floor. Our last award is the Corporate Award for Small Business. This award goes to a highly distinguished organization or corporation with less than 1,000 employees for their contributions to society, for fulfillment of the NSBE mission, and for the improving of African American access to quality education, employment, or technology. The purpose of STEM Connector is to transform STEM education in the nation by encouraging collaboration and identifying and profiling key stakeholder groups in all areas of STEM education. This project aims to bridge the gap between STEM organizations and increase communication and collaboration in the STEM community, filling the need for a reliable and resourceful network of like-minded organizations that are working to build the talent in STEM fields. The project especially focuses in on increasing communication among programs at work to advance minorities and women in STEM. The newly formed Million Women Mentors program supports the engagement of 1 million STEM mentors to increase the interest and confidence of girls and women to persist and succeed in STEM programs and careers. Congratulations, STEM Conductor.
All right, so next I would like to introduce Ms. Tanisha Williams, 2014-2015 Chapter Treasurer and 2015-2016 Chapter Vice President to recognize NSBE DC sponsors for the 2014-2015 year.
Good evening, beautiful people.
Good evening.
Great to see you all. So fabulous. And this, of course, is the best part of the evening. It is my pleasure to thank all of our donors and sponsors who have supported us throughout the year and those who have supported us especially for tonight's event. We could certainly not have accomplished what we do without all of you. So just quickly, can all my company representatives please stand as I call your company? First up, we have BAE Systems. Next up, we have Minor Corporation. We have Baron Technologies. everyone were not able to join us this evening. However, we do thank you and thank all of you for your continued service. And the party will be soon, I promise.
All right, so we've eaten a really great dinner, we've fellowship, we've given awards, and so now we want to remind you why we're here, right? So can you guys see there's in the center of your table, there's envelopes. Can you guys reach one and get one?
Oh, wow.
Okay, you should get one and see if there's anything special in there. Now we're looking for the lucky ticket. No lucky ticket? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm off. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. You need to put some. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We need
Good job.
Something in there. Surprise. Yes. Yeah. And so listen, we're going to do this DC style. So you know what that means? You're going to put your check in there and see if your check is bigger than her check, and his check is bigger than his check. So you know how you do, right? He has 1 0, you put 2. He has a 5, you put a 6. Okay? That wasn't a part of the script, but I just felt compelled. Those cards, the envelopes were empty and they were just sitting there. See, I see. Oh, I like it. I see people reaching in their bags, telling their husbands to reach in the bag. I like that. We want to remind you the reason that we're here tonight is to raise scholarship funds to support talented African American. They're just talking about how much they're going to put in. I understand. And I'll collect them and we'll look. No, I won't do that. Talented African American youth pursuing education in STEM fields. I would now like to introduce to you Torrance S. Morado. Miranda, you should get your back. Miranda the second. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Miranda. Now, Mr. Miranda, I'm going to bring you up here, but there's also some more information I want to share. So, he's been a part of NSBE since elementary school, which maybe, what, 2 years ago? Really? Okay, so, and now he's a member of Washington, D.C. NSBE Junior Chapter. He also was the 2007 Dell Scholar, a distinction as the top scholar winner. In addition to that, the scholarship that Torrance received, he also received a laptop, which is donated by Dell. Torrance has been active in NSBE as an undergraduate and graduate student. He enrolled in the 3-2 program at Morehouse, North Carolina A&T, and just completed his master's degree in mechanical engineer at NC A&T. With us regarding his experience, I could not let that go, Torrance, without me saying that. So thank you. Let's welcome him.
And good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you to the Washington, D.C. NSBE Professionals Chapter for allowing me to speak at this special occasion celebrating 25 years of excellence and service to its members and to the community. For me, NSBE is more than just an organization. As a student, I always enjoyed science, and I participated in science fair competitions, but it was my introduction to NSBE that piqued my interest in engineering. My personal involvement with NSBE began in middle school when I was a member of the Washington, D.C. NSBE Junior Chapter. The D.C. chapter advisors introduced me to the different fields of engineering, and I always looked forward to every meeting. As a result, I decided to advocate for a charter to start a new NSBE Junior Chapter in Prince William County, Virginia, a few years later, and a new chapter was started. As a participant in NSBE throughout middle school and high school, I attended summer camps and regional conferences. During the summer camps, I learned about the importance of teamwork, working well with others, leadership, taking the lead when necessary, and creativity, thinking outside the box. As an engineering student in college, I had to apply these same skills towards my team projects and my research. The regional conferences and the national convention were very informative and inspirational. I had numerous opportunities to network with collegiate and professional members. The keynote speakers gave me much needed advice about the demands, expectations, and rewards of a professional engineering career. In addition to the motivational speakers, there were seminars for SAT preparation, time management, and organization. All these skills are necessary for a successful career in engineering or any professional field. I continue to remain an active NSBE member throughout my years in college. The highlights of my collegiate involvement with NSBE include my participation in chapter general body meetings, in which motivational speakers kept me focused on my development as an engineering student, and corporate information sessions, in which representatives informed me of the professional qualities that they wanted in entry-level engineers. Additionally, I also participated in community service events which gave me an opportunity to positively impact the community. Most important of all, NSBE provided me with financial assistance in the form of scholarships, and the DC Professionals chapter gave me a laptop, which I really appreciated. Because that was one less expense to worry about. Now, as I transition to my career as a mechanical engineer, I will continue to make NSBE a part of my life. I hope that all of you continue to support the Washington, D.C. NSBE Professionals chapter and its mission. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Torrance. I would like to invite Harold Goodridge, one of NSBE DC founders, to the stage to provide closing remarks.
25 years. It's been a journey for all of us, for those of us who are coming through the phases of NSBE seasons. Over the years, I think Mark James came up with the phrase NSBE DC is the heartbeat of the nation. And the heartbeat is a common denominator that all of us have a heart. And one of the things that was instrumental in NSBE's leadership philosophy was that they adapted the principles of Mayat, which is an African principle of your heart is light as a feather. The members over the years and over the season, from presidents to committee members to activists, they'll always use the principles of the heart, the caring, the compassion, and the commitment to the mission. Because that is critical for those of us who are African people from both sides of the water, is that we always operate from the heart. And it's a heart that, in between the silence of the heartbeat, that we manifest what is possible. Engineers, we're the ones who actually are in tune with the forces of nature and the universe. And that's been a common denominator across all the civilizations, using our intellect, our cognitive gifts and abilities to make this place a better world. So through the leadership over the seasons, as the challenges that we have, is about operating from the heart. And all of us have a heart and the beat goes on. Thank you.
Have been inspired to not only give, but to get involved. NSBE DC chapter, you guys are just wonderful in what you do. This is our first year working with you, as far as my company working with you, and even working with the radio station. And I hope, again, that this will not be the last time we get to work together and inspire kids to dream big and to actually fulfill these positions and careers that can change the world, and not only that, their lives as well. At this time, I would like to I would like to welcome NSBE DC President Yinka Anjiro Tutu for closing remarks.
All right, thank you, Taylor, so much. Thank you so much. We've really enjoyed working with you this year. I really want to thank all of our sponsors, our partners, as well as our founders and members as well. We did neglect to mention one of our sponsors, so I definitely would like to recognize DC Sustainable Energy Utility. If you're here, please stand. Thank you so much for your support and partnership this year. We appreciate you. So we have honored our founders, we've honored our past presidents, but we all know NSBE is a member-driven organization. So although you may not be a past president or a founder, you have very much given to this organization and truly have used your actions and your service to bring the successes that we have today. So I would ask for any individuals who have been members of NSBE DC in the past 25 years to please stand and be recognized. Our awardees. This organization is so special, and I know many of us feel it, and that's why we've given so much of ourselves to NSBE DC. So I definitely want to thank everybody who was a part of the program, and thank you for your time. I know that we are getting very close to party time, and I can tell people are itching to get to it. So just a couple of housekeeping things to be aware of. Firstly, please bid on our silent auctions. Percentages do go to our Future Innovator Scholarship Fund, and as you can see, it is definitely something that's very dear to our hearts and also very important for our community. So the silent auction, once again, will close at 11 p.m., so you have some time to do that before it closes. Also, I do know there were some questions about parking. We've negotiated a rate with the hotel of $20 as long as you mention NSBE DC. So please, if you have any issues with that, please do let us know so that we can chat with them and make sure that is taken care of as well. So this has been an amazing weekend. I just want to do a quick run through of all the great events we've had. Last night we had a membership appreciation event. We had a lot of members come out and we were able to recognize them. Earlier this day we had the Founders and Past Presidents brunch that took place here in the hotel, as well as the membership showcase with many TED Talks that showcase the many talents of our members and our partners. Our gala tonight, and I really have to mention our culminating event, the Future Innovator Scholarship Reception, which is going to take place tomorrow from 2 to 4 p.m. And that's honestly why we're here, is to raise money for scholarships for students to go and get STEM degrees and really set them up for strong careers within engineering and the applied sciences. So I would encourage you to come out tomorrow from 2 to 4 p.m. It'll be right here in the Hyatt Regency Capitol Hill in the Thornton Room, which is on the 11th floor, so we would love to see you there. Really see, what is the other side, the results of the work that we're doing here tonight to be able to provide scholarships for our students. So I want to say thank you to everybody for attending. It's so wonderful to see all of your faces, and let's party. Have a great night.